Hello everyone, this is FPL Now and welcome to my FPL Game Week 16 preview. In this preview, we'll be looking at key questions such as differential captains to own this week, replacements for some injured players in our teams, and then most importantly, what to do with the 5 free AFCON transfers that we've been given. Let's dive in. Let's start with the AFCON transfers. The AFCON transfers are given to address replacing players who are going for AFCON in FPL. Players such as Salah, Mbuemo, Minte, Dango, Iwobi, and a couple of others. Just to note, Kudus and Semenyo are not going for AFCON, so if you have them, you don't have to be worried about them leaving our teams. So with this in mind, obviously a lot of people probably own one or two of these assets, coupled with the injured assets in our teams, likely, or suspended assets. The 5 free transfers are here for us to address those issues. And there's no optimal way to use these transfers. It's team dependent, just like the advice I would be giving, or most of it is team dependent, your team value, priorities in your team, probably like you probably have a bad goalkeeper or you need a defender that probably has been doing very well or an injured player. So most of this FPL advice is just to, it's just to help with a variety of options to select from. So looking at the AFCON players, I think the most owned ones are Salah, Mbuemo, and Minte. And who are the likely replacements for these players? I believe Harry Wilson offers the best value, considering his price and his recent up form. He's just 5.4 million, and he has over the season had 4 goals and 3 assists. And lately his form has been imperious. He has been scoring lots of goals. Another replacement is Szoboszlai. I believe it's saying that in the absence of Salah and probably Ekitike or Isak, Szoboszlai will be the penalty taker. He might even be the second choice penalty taker. So that increases the upside of owning him, as well as the fact that he's on set pieces. Then we have Bruno Guimaraes, who's also on set pieces. He's been on a very good tier of form, and he's also just a very nailed-on asset to own. And lastly, we have Trossard, who his form has been imperious too. He has been scoring goals whenever he probably plays, or chipping in assists with assists. And I just feel like he's a very good asset to own. And he currently is an injury doubt, but I believe that Arteta currently favors him over Martinelli when he's fit. Talking about replacements for Daniel Munoz, who is injured and might be out for up to 2 months. We have Joachim Anderson and Chalobah. I believe these are the 2 best replacements for him, as well as maybe a Brentford defensive asset. However, I'm not so keen on a Brentford defensive asset like Collins or Coyote, because their team struggles to keep clean sheets and they concede a lot of goals. But on the strength of the opposition, looking at Joachim Anderson, he's facing Burnley, Forest, and West Ham in the next 3. I feel like he should, at least probably get 1 or 2 clean sheets from those fixtures, as well as being a huge DEFCON monster. He almost always gets DEFCON, so I believe he's a good asset to own or replace Daniel Munoz with. Also, Chalobah, even when the fixtures have probably not been favorable, his attacking upside is huge. He has scored a lot of goals this season for a defender, and Chelsea are actually generally defensively solid. So I believe Chalobah is also a good asset to own, coupled with the DEFCONs he will get occasionally. Looking at differential captains to own this week, if we look at the strength of the fixture this week, Haaland's fixture versus Palace isn't exactly one of the easiest fixtures, and even though Haaland probably has a fairly good record against Palace, but Palace this season have been very, very good defensively, and I just feel like there are other teams with better fixtures to target, and this includes Thiago, who is facing Leeds, who really keep clean sheets and concede a huge ton of goals. They are in the bottom 3 for goals considered this season. Then we have Saka and Eze, who are also facing Wolves, who have been terrible, and it's a home fixture for Arsenal, and their assets were rested in the Champions League. I just feel like this is a game that, even though Arsenal don't score a huge volume of goals, this is a game that has goals written all over it. I see a 4-5 goal line, score line kind of game happening. So I would honestly punt on this, either of these players ahead of Haaland. And then Rodrigo Munoz is facing Burnley, who are also in the bottom 5 for goals conceded and just don't know how to keep clean sheets. And we'll also be missing Kyle Walker, who is very keen to their defense. So I believe Rodrigo Munoz is a very nice refresher captain this week. And last but not the least, I know this might sound very off-putting or might sound off-field, but that is part of the fun of FPL, and that is one of the reasons why we're playing FPL, is to be bold and to probably take some logical decisions with a bit of backing. And I believe that this differential captain I'm talking about is Salah. I believe Salah wants to prove a point based on everything that's been happening, that he's not at fault for Liverpool's poor form. This is, there's a lot of talk. This might be his last game. This might, there's just a lot of talk. And I believe that if Salah starts, he will really want to prove a point before going to AFCON. If it's going to be a farewell game, he will want to make it a grand game. And I honestly have him as my number 1 captain this week, ahead of Haaland, Thiago, Saka, Eze, and Munoz that I've listed here. Plus, it's Brighton. Brighton concede a ton of goals. They don't play defensively, and the way they play suits Liverpool perfectly. They won't sit deep and hope to hit Liverpool on the counter. They won't play long balls. They prefer passing the ball from the back. And this is the kind of game that suits Liverpool perfectly. So I would even have Salah as my number 1 differential captain this week. I believe genuinely that he's going to start, because Slot has had some talks with him and the issues have been resolved. Now, this is not to say don't captain Haaland, but if we look at Haaland in the past 4 game weeks, he has only returned once, and he has even fared worse versus way lesser opposition. He blanked versus Sunderland and blanked versus Leeds, I believe. So Haaland is not a machine that will score all the time. He even blanked versus Castle, and he missed a penalty versus Liverpool. So he would score goals and he will have his holes, but I think when the fixture is tough, Haaland might struggle. And I just genuinely feel like there are better captains to own this week. That will be all for this week. Thank you for watching my videos. Kindly like, share, subscribe. Thank you, and may our arrows be green. Please remember to subscribe and follow me on X at NowsFPL. Thank you. Cheers.